recently how to use AI in development and marketing. He's recognized for digital marketing expert, and he's the CEO of an agency that ranked in the Inc. 5000 list, one of the fastest growing private companies in the United States. Joe is the author of 5 books, including the most recent High Energy Networking. He's also the founder of Innovation AI Instant of LinkedIn, AVAI, which is a software that I also use, and it's been a change for me since I started using. Um, Him and his team develop and help maximize platform to save time for the people using software. When he is not inspired in educating professionals on stage, he spent his time rollerblading and rapping with his 5 children in Hillside, New Jersey. Welcome, Joe, and I give you the mic to talk to the chapter today.
Wow. Thank you for having me here. Really appreciate being with you guys. One of the most important things that you need to think about in today's day and age is not just what technologies you're using, because everyone's talking about AI, right? We're like thinking about technologies, but it's more about your personality and how you show up, because people are going to trust you based on your vibes. Have you guys ever heard of the term vibe coding? It's a way of being able to code using your vibe. You're just chilling with the AI and you're like, yo, make me a Chrome extension. I want you to check out the Inc. 5000 list of the 5,000 fastest growing companies in America. I want everybody's first name, last name, company name, what their growth was over 3 years. I want to see their revenue. I want to see their industry. I want to see everything about the company, and I want to know how I can do business with them. And I want the CEO's name, and I want all their information. I want their LinkedIn profile, and I want how many followers they have, and I want to know if they're paying for LinkedIn, and I want to know what software they use. And then the AI can build the software that does this. And that's what was happening while I was sleeping last night. And when I woke up, I had the whole 5,000, all 5,000 companies in a spreadsheet ready for me with everything I asked for. Right before this meeting happened, I went to the EO website, and I was like, okay, let me just see who's part of here. Let me see if I know anybody. Part of the Middle Eastern and Africa Bridge chapter, and all of a sudden, I said, you know what? Why don't I get a swarm of agents that will go out on the internet and tell me information about all 53 people that are in the chapter? And so I hired an agent called Manus. Have you guys heard of Manus? Manus is an agent that will open up a computer, but it won't open up one computer. It'll open up 53 computers, and it'll do the research against 53 people. And I said, I want everyone's first name, last name, company name, LinkedIn URL, and what they do for a living. Show it to me. And boom, it made me a spreadsheet with all the information. I'm going to share my screen just to kind of show you guys this. But if you're not vibing at a very high level, this is the information about everyone in the chapter. You see that all organized here for me with everybody's LinkedIn profiles. It couldn't find every single person, but it found who it found. It gave me their website for every single person. And it's super interesting the way that I was able to position this without giving it much information, just first name, last name, company name, and went off and started doing all the research about each person. If I want to cross-reference this information as to against the 18 people that are on the Zoom, I can then put this into a ChatGPT chat and tell me who's in the Zoom right now. I could take a screenshot of the participants list, throw it into Zoom, throw it into ChatGPT, and it'll tell me every single person that's on the Zoom and who they are and what they do and their LinkedIn and everything else. Think about this level of power that you could have if you properly learn how to leverage this type of technology. But I looked at a lot of your LinkedIn profiles, and I noticed that many of you are pretty influential. You know, I looked at a lot of profiles of people, and they're pretty influential people, but you're not necessarily doing all the right things that you could be doing in terms of putting yourself out there in a way that inspires people and impacts people. And a lot of it comes down to the following. I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a sec. A lot of it comes to the following. It comes down to the following, and it's all related to like your identity. A lot of people want to be liked. It's one thing to be safe and secure as a leader and not wanting to get kidnapped, right? In certain countries, if you show too much about how much money you have or whatever, people will take you for Bitcoin in Mexico and other places, right? So you want to be safe. And you want to not tell everybody how much dough you hold because you know the cheddar breeds jealousy, especially. If you guys heard of Biggie Smalls, right? You guys never heard of Anyway, he's a rapper and he raps. He's like, never let no one know how much dough you hold because you know the cheddar breed jealousy. He basically said that. But at the same time, you not having a presence online is a presence. Think about that. Having a broken profile, having mustard on your shirt is showing up with mustard on your shirt. When I Google you and a bunch of random things come up and you're not in control of that, you didn't intentionally show up a certain way. When I walk into a room, I prepare myself and deal with my crap before I walk into the room so that I can show up in a way that will inspire other people. I wasn't always like this because I used to care more about what people cared about me. Like Hassan said, Joe, what's the most embarrassing question I could ask you? And that really got me thinking to myself, like, if you asked me that question maybe 10 years ago or whatever, I would say, what did I eat before I came to the meeting? I would say, how much money I have. I would say, what did I do last night in the darkness of my room or whatever? You know what I mean? Like I would be ashamed of all that. But because I did a lot of work on getting complete with who I am and creating the personality that I want to have and being proud of the life that I chose, I can show up fully as myself and make the biggest impact I could possibly make. And your energy will show by not just what you say, but by your face. This concept of Facebook, where people show their faces. I used to be afraid of showing my face online. I used to have a picture of an apple as my profile photo. And someone once asked me, he's like, what's wrong with you? Like, what is wrong with you? I was like, look at me. Who would want to look at my face? And I don't want stalkers to look at this face. But the truth is, I didn't even know why. It had to do with shame. It had to do with things that make no sense. A lot of us have a lot of shame about who we are, about what we've been through, about stories that we've been told, about what we're supposed to be. I have a message for you. You are literally perfect the way that you are. And you're like, how could you say I'm perfect if I have this insecurity and that insecurity and this problem? That's what makes you perfect. All the imperfections in nature is what makes nature so beautiful. Go walk in the forest. I don't know if you have any forests near you, but go travel somewhere where there's forests and go walk in the forest a little bit and look at nature and see nature and the desert. Go walk in the desert. The desert is not perfect, but that's what makes it so perfect. The fact that things just happen in life and we become who we are. But if you listen to the voices of the people that installed those voices in your head, you're not going to want to show up for other people because you're going to be so afraid of, like, what about me? A while ago, I was walking with an EO friend that was doing Ironmans, and he just came back from Tony Robbins. And I said, what inspired you at Tony Robbins? And he said to me, I need to fill up my own cup so much that when I'm with other people, they don't need to take from my cup. They just take from the overflow of my cup, from the bowl under my cup that I fill up. And I was thinking that's such a profound thing in life. When we can show up fully for other people and it's not about us, and that goes on social media. Social media is a representation of you. Your LinkedIn profile is a representation of you. Your presence online, when I Google your name, if you don't show up, that's part of your brand, not showing up. If you show up and your profile has 4 followers and you haven't posted in 16 months, I see that. If I see you have no recommendations on LinkedIn, I see that. Do you get what I'm saying? Does this make any sense? Put a $sign in the chat if this makes sense to you. Because if it makes dollars, it makes sense. Let me see what you guys are writing in the chat over here. Put a $sign in the chat if this makes sense to you. If you guys don't know how to find the chat, that's totally fine. If you can't find the chat, how are you going to find the dollars? Find the chat, baby. Put some dollars in the chat. I want you guys to make it rain. There's 21 people. The only people that I don't want putting dollars in the chat is the note takers. That would be really weird if the note takers start putting dollars in the chat. I see Jamil, Bashar, Jay, Hassan. Do you know how valuable your story is? I was on the Inc. 500 in 2012, and I was thinking to myself, so what? I'm one of the fastest growing companies in America. So what? We had a 1,200% growth over 3 years, 12 whatever, a ridiculous percent growth. Like who cares? Who cares about that? I should be $100 million company by now. So what if I started the company from scratch 3 years ago, and I had not a penny to piss in, and I put everything on a credit card? Who cares? I should be $100 million by now, because we overestimate what we can accomplish in a year, and we underestimate what we can do in 10 years, in a decade. That's a powerful thing. If you think about who you're going to be in 10 years from now and the action you need to take today to show up in 10 years from now, the actions can be very, very small. You don't need to make major moves to move something 10 years from now. You make a little tiny step in the right direction. My daughter wants to start running a marathon. So I told her, she's like, well, when I run 5 minutes, when I run 2 minutes, I'm out of breath. I said, how about walking 3 miles a day? She's like, what? I never walk 3 miles ever. I was like, every day, 3 miles. She sent me a screenshot yesterday. It's her 8th day walking 3 miles. And she's like, I even ran for 5 minutes and I wasn't out of breath. I'm like, great. Now I want you to walk 3 miles instead of in 50 minutes. I want you to walk it in 49 minutes. And then in 47 minutes. And then in 40 minutes. And before you know it, you'll be running it in 30 minutes. Or in 26 minutes. And that'll change the game for you. The same thing goes with your own personal brand. The same thing goes with your legacy, with what you want to leave. I want you to think about that for a moment. Because AI will clone you. And what do you want it to clone? You want it to clone the version of yourself that's scared? Think about that. You want it to clone the version of yourself that's ashamed of who they are, of where they've been? I used to be ashamed that I grew up as a rabbi and that my father wanted me to be a rabbi. I made it part of my story. But I was ashamed because I thought I failed. I failed my father. I failed my father because my father wanted me to be a religious rabbi, and I just want to be a business guy. You know what I mean? I want to be an author, a speaker, an entrepreneur. That's my religion. But he wanted me to go be a rabbi and do the things he likes to do and teach Torah. And the Bible is nice, and it's a good thing, and it's a great story, and it's a wonderful thing, and I love it and everything, but it's, who am I? Who do I want to be? And then I heard that my father rebelled against his father because his father wanted him to be an entrepreneur, and he said, no, I'm going to go be a rabbi. And I was like, okay, well, you did it to your father. I'm doing it to you. Have a good day. He's like, I'm actually very proud of you. I said, why? He's like, because you're being your true self. What is your true self? Is it the voice of your father? Is it the voice of your mother? Is it a voice of your teacher in 3rd grade that told you that you're an idiot? I told myself till I was 40 that I was an idiot, that I wasn't good enough. It's the biggest fear that people have. The biggest fear that people have is that they're not good enough or they're not loved. But the only person that needs to believe that you're good enough is you. And if you show up for you, and you start showing up for you, and then you start talking to people that you want to inspire, that you want to make a difference for, suddenly you're able to leave a legacy. I have 5 children, thank God. 5 beautiful children. And when they look at me, I'm not trying to have them be me. I want them to see me be me so that they can be them. And my daughter came over to me, my 19-year-old daughter, who I'm teaching how to drive now, came over and gave me a kiss last night. And I looked at her, I was like, what's that about? I'm usually the one that kisses you, and you told me to go to hell usually. Like, what's going on? She's like, I know. I just want you to know that I love you, and I see you, and I appreciate everything you do. And I was like, wow. Like, what happened? She used to hate my guts. You know, now she moved in with me. She left her mother's house, and she moved into my house. Because she's like, she's like, I see who you are. I see what you do, and I appreciate that very much. Like, wow. Be yourself because everybody else is already taken. So, technology, yeah, I can teach you technology. I can show you how to do things. But if you have a belief behind that you're not good enough or that your story is not worthy of being shared, no matter how much technology, no matter how much AI you have, you're not going to take action. Results come from action. We're in this world for a very short period of time, and we're here to learn a lesson. And I think the lesson is about overcoming our fears, our self-limiting beliefs, and being able to show up in ways that previous generations couldn't show up because they were afraid that if they would show up, they would get killed. You have the ability to show up. The only thing that'll get killed is your ego. It's not such a terrible thing to lose the identity that you're holding on to for a greater purpose, to make a difference for other people. Did you know that I believe that the secret to living is giving and making a difference for other people? Put a heart in the chat if that's the type of person you want to be. And I'm going to tell you different ways that you can give. It's not just about giving money. That's probably the lowest way that you can give. It's not a terrible way, but it's the lowest way that you can give. I think saying something nice to somebody and giving a blessing is much more significant than giving somebody money. Because words create. Words create money. Think about that. Sales is just words. Your whole business is you creating with your mind, with your thoughts, with your words. So check this out. I'm going to go on LinkedIn right now. I'm going to click on My Network over here. You see where it says My Network on top? I click on My Network. And then I have 30,000 connections. I've got to remove some connections. If you guys want to connect with me, send me a connection request. I'll remove somebody else and I'll add you. Don't worry, okay? Because I love my EO brothers and sisters. But I'm going to click on the catch-up tab. It's a catch-up tab. And then I see all these people have birthdays. Look at this. What do you do on people's birthdays? You do a happy dance on their birthday. You celebrate them. You bless them. So I have templates set up. Let me see. DM. Oh, not happy. I'm going to do it from here. I'm going to choose the list. This is why I have lists, because if I search for things and they don't come up. Okay, so I have templates set up right over here. I'm going to say that it's the 13th, and I'm going to bless this person because I studied to be a rabbi, and one of the most important things that rabbis can do is bless people. So I go ahead and I bless these people. And what do I say? I say, I just wanted to wish you a happy birthday. May you be blessed with lots of happiness and love on this wonderful day, 8/13. Hope you enjoy it. Thanks for being my connection on LinkedIn. Boom. By the way, doing anything special? Do you know how many people I melt their heart just from sending this on a daily basis? This beautiful little blessing. This is a one-on-one direct message. This is private. Nobody else sees that I'm doing this. But this person sees it. They know it. They feel it. And some people tell me, even my mother didn't wish me a happy birthday. And you went and wished me a happy birthday. You took the time to do this? Wow. And I don't only do this on LinkedIn. I also do this on Facebook. Do you guys know what Facebook is? Facebook has billions of people on it. And it tells me all the people's birthdays when I click on birthday right here, you see? And I have a little template for birthdays here. So I'm going to do 8/13 as well here because today's 8/13. It save changes. And now I can click on this, Shraga. I could click on message. It opens up a little message box. And then I could just insert a little happy birthday blessing. You see that? How much time does it take to wish people happy birthday? Sure, it takes time and to bless people, but each person is a real person. They're not just a random stranger. They're either a Facebook friend, an EO member, a Vistage member, a YPO member, a friend of mine, somebody that I've seen, somebody that knows me. And if they're going to get annoyed that I wish them a happy birthday, I'd rather not be a relationship with them. Do you know what I mean? If they're going to get annoyed at this, you'd be like, what are you doing, Joe? Why are you wishing people blessings? It's just how I communicate. I want more blessings in my life. Do you want more blessings in your life? Write more blessings in the chat if you're into more blessings. If you want more blessings in your life, write more blessings. Not everybody's into blessings. Some people want other things. What do you want? Write more blessings. By the way, when we write, we communicate, we create. That's what we're doing. We're creating. When I send somebody, if I want something myself, if I want $100 million, okay? I don't know if you guys are into money. I like money. I like what money creates for me. Freedom, choices, the opportunities to bless other people. If I want money, if I want more blessings, what do I need to do? I need to bless other people, right? That's my opinion. Because when I bless people, they bless me back. So the more people you bless, the more blessings you'll get. If you want more gratitude, you put more gratitude out there. What you put comes back to you, right? They say in EO, famous saying, what you give is what you get. Have you guys ever heard that? What you put in is what you get out. You have a crappy forum experience? Well, you're not being the moderator. Step up, be the moderator. You know, like I went to a forum. I didn't like it. I created my own forum. I found the best people. They all exited $50 million companies. Boom, 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 boom. After 2 years of us being in forum together. Why? Because we put together an amazing forum of people that I curated because I took the responsibility. And I guess what I called the forum? I called it the Amazing Forum. Because I wanted to create an amazing forum. I created Joe Apfelbaum. I created the name, the persona. My name wasn't Joe when I was born. I decided my name is Joe. Joe with the right strategy. Let me show you how to be. Do you guys get what I'm saying? You can create your persona to be whatever you want. We're learning this with AI, that you can create roles. And you can tell the AI to be a certain way. I actually cloned myself, and I created a course with 99 LinkedIn hacks. I didn't have to say a word. I used 11 labs to speak. I used HeyGen to look like me. Do you guys want to see what it looks like, just to show you? You curious? Write curious in the chat if you're curious. If you're not curious, I don't have to show you. But if you're curious, write curious. Or put a big C in the chat. Amen, amen, curious. So check this out. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to go to school. School is a platform. They want to have 1 billion users in school. They're growing very fast. I'm going to go down to one of the courses, the 99 courses, and I'm going to give you a hack. I'm going to give you one of the hacks. I'm going to share my audio so you can hear what I hear. And I'm going to give you the, let's see, which hack should I give you? I'll give you the Calendly hack. Do you guys know the Calendly hack? So check this out. Roll to sales conversation. Use this to start. Here, let's talk about hack number 44, the Calendly. By the way, it looks like me, but it's not actually me. It's a version of me, okay? Meeting hack. If you want to book more calls on LinkedIn, this one's a gold mine. Here's the move. Search the word Calendly on LinkedIn. Filter by first-degree connections, and boom, you'll see a list of people who already have a booking link on their profile. Want to go next level? Head to Google and type sitelinkedin.com, calendly.com, sales trainer. You'll find pages of people with Calendly links right in their profiles. Click through, find their booking page, and instantly schedule a call. It's the fastest path from scroll to sales conversation. Use this to start warm, permission-based outreach and book meetings without the awkward back and forth. You've got the meeting. Now let's talk about the next hack. Guys, I have 99 hacks, videos that I already sold, pre-sold to 150 people based on a LinkedIn poll that I created. So I put up a poll. If you do hashtag Mojo Polls 2025, you'll be able to see all the polls that I created. I'm constantly creating polls on LinkedIn. You see this? So I said, do you guys want to learn the hacks? And people said, yes, I want to learn the hacks. And so then I just go in there and I say, okay, well, I have a checkout page that you can pay for the hacks if you want to pay for it. And people are like, okay, no problem. I'll pay for the hacks. And then they pay for it, and then I go hire the person to create it, but I don't have the time to do it. So I just have them go take my clone and do it for me. And these are the people. I did this a few times, and I have a few different, and the people say, yeah, I want to learn it. So I send them the checkout link. Here, buy it. Do you get what I'm saying? And then I go and create it, but I don't have to create it anymore. This is totally a digital product that is created by AI. And then people go ahead and buy it. And now I have an asset that I can use to help people out, to learn how to use LinkedIn. 99 different hacks, each under a minute. Did you guys get the Calendly hack, by the way? The Calendly hack is if you go to site:/LinkedIn.com space Calendly.com space, let's say, sales trainer. and you press enter, you'll find all the people that have Calendly.com links on their profile that are sales trainers. You see? And I have thousands and thousands and thousands of people that I can book a meeting with right now from their calendar. Do you guys understand what that means? So you can pick any topic, Google it or LinkedIn it, search it, and find their booking links and just book yourself a meeting with them. I don't know about you, but I think that's a great hack. And my team books themselves meetings all the times with people. And I don't have to well, it depends on the message. Bashar said, would they consider it spam? Yeah, if you spam them. But what if you commented on their post first, and then you send them a connection note, and then in the Calendly link said, oh my God, I'm looking for a sales trainer. Would love to chat with you. Let's book a 15-minute call to get to know each other. And boom, right? That's the way it goes. Or whatever you have to, it's all about messaging, because spam is considered spam unless you do thoughtful. You're not just going to randomly do it without thinking. You have to have a message that makes sense. So if you're trying to speak to somebody, I would recommend building a relationship with them in some way, or the message has to make sense. They have a Calendly link because they want you to book a meeting with them. You're not just going to randomly book meetings with people, but it has to have a purpose, and you have to write what the purpose of the meeting is and make it make sense to them. Everybody has a pain that they want to solve, right? So if you speak to my pain, and you can do AI research on anyone. Do you guys want to see me do AI research on someone right now? I showed you how I just pasted everything, but check this out. I'm going to do AI research on one of you. Let's see, Bashar. Should we look up Bashar, or should we look up, who should we look up over here? First of all, I'm going to say, who is Bashar? Who is Bashar? Let's just see if it...
Do someone you don't know, Joe.
Oh, someone I don't know? Okay, so let's pick up a random person. Amma Peters. Bashar. Look at this. It's telling me everything about Bashar over here. Okay, so I'm going to say, who is Amma Peters? Let's just see. I'm going to stop this right here. Who is Amma Peters? Let's just see. Let's see if it picks it up. Searching the web. Okay, Amma Peters is managing director of Visions Opticals. She's like, oh, hell yeah, that's me. Okay, I love that. She's like, yep. Okay, so what is her LinkedIn? What is her LinkedIn profile? See, I misspelled it, but that's fine. Let's just see. Let's see if it finds her LinkedIn profile. I was not able to locate her LinkedIn profile. Okay. Let's search on LinkedIn. Sometimes it doesn't have access to LinkedIn. So let's just see. Here you go. We found you on LinkedIn. Okay, so this is your LinkedIn profile. You're in Nigeria. I'm going to go ahead and save you here to my Evi AI. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to deploy an agent. So I'm going to deploy Grok. You guys ever heard of Grok? Grok is made by Tesla, by by X.AI. I'm going to deploy Claude. Claude is by Anthropic. I'm going to deploy Perplexity. I'm going to deploy Copilot. We are turning over the internet. Okay, so let's see. Oh, look at this. Look how much information we found about you. Oh, we're looking up all your 37 different sources. Okay, so this is what you do. Is the managing director and CEO of Visions Opticals, a leading provider of luxury eye care and stylish eyewear solutions, renowned for merging medical expertise with fashion-forward vision care. She built a brand known for innovative lens technology. Ooh, look at that. Okay, let's see the last 10 podcasts she's been on. Let's see. Let's do a little bit of research. He's like, what the heck is he doing over here? Let's do a little bit of research on you. Research prompts. We're going to say, okay, show me the last 10 podcasts she's been on, and then show me conversation starters about each podcast. Okay, so we just looked at your last 20 podcasts. We're going to pick up the top 10, and here are the talking points. The Star Network, episode 18. CNTV, Meet the Boss. Ooh, exciting. Defocus Media Podcast. 100% Optical Seminar Program 2025. Connect Nigeria Business Mixer and Webinar. Enterprise Development Center and blah, blah, blah. Women's Association Global Event. Icon 2023. This is amazing. This is incredible information. By the way, is this valuable? Write valuable in the chat if you guys are getting value from this. If I want to go deep with someone and really get to know someone, like I did with Amma Peters, I really can get to know them deeply here. And how long did it take me? Seconds. While I'm on the phone with you, while the phone is ringing, I pull this up and I know everything about you. Now I want to know your personality. So how am I going to learn about your personality? I'm going to say, do a DISC assessment. Tell me her Myers-Briggs. Let's do a little bit of a, let's break it all down, baby. Let's see what her sign is. Yo, what's your sign, baby? Did you say Aquarius? Unmute yourself.
I said Taurus.
Taurus, like my daughter, my 17-year-old daughter is a Taurus. She's learning to do a marathon. I love that. Okay, so it looks
This
like
is wild.
this is crazy, right? It shows me the DISC assessment over here. It shows me the big 5 indicators. It shows me your Myers-Briggs. You're extroverted, it seems. You're intuitive. You're balanced for judging and thinking and feeling. And you're mostly judging, which most Tauruses are. Okay, very cool. Synthesis and communication strategy. It tells me how to speak to you. Fast-paced, energetic, confident decision-making, and clear objectives. Okay, good. Now I know how to talk to you. I know exactly what topics to mention. I have engagement questions. I have an interaction plan. Like, wow, this is like, think about the power. I mean, if you learn how to use this technology about other people in your network, your potential clients, your friends, this could be very, very impactful for you. With a click of a button, if all your employees had access to this type of stuff and they got trained in. So do your research. Hire someone that can train your people. I'm training one of Hassan's salespeople now on how to be able to leverage LinkedIn, to be able to get on the phone with people. And by the way, if you're uncomfortable getting on the phone with people, it's because you're uncomfortable with who you are. Because if you knew how amazing you are, you would be so comfortable picking up the phone and calling anybody. If you knew that you were literally God, a piece of God was within you, and your job was to communicate and love and connect, you would be able to call any human at any time and connect with them on a soul level. But you have to stop worrying about other people's opinions. And of course, you have to be strategic and have a plan, conversation starters. But I could pick up the phone and call anybody because of the energy that I tap into, which is soul energy instead of egoic energy. I'm not thinking about what you're thinking about me. And it's not because my ego doesn't care. My ego does care. But my soul doesn't. And when I'm so present, when I'm here, when it's about you instead of about me, when I'm in a state of giving, that's living. That means I have the power to share more. Self-expression is life. Do you guys ever heard of that term? Self-expression is life. We all want to express ourselves, and when we don't, we depress ourselves. You have a natural, you're water. You know you're 80% water, 70% water, the world 70%, 80%. Well, you're mostly water, as I see Hassan drinking. You're mostly water, so water needs to flow. Your energy needs to flow, but if you're afraid and you're stagnant, go do a little Qigong. Get a little Reiki. Get a little bit of acupuncture. Get the energy moving. Your vibes, your vibrations, your thoughts, your feelings. Go in. Go in. Find out what's going on inside because most of your world is inside. You think when you look at someone, you're judging them? No. Your judgment of other people is your judgment of yourself. It's just the way that you're seeing things. Like when you see oh, look at that guy or look at that woman or look at da-da-da-da-da. That's really you in your own world, in your own paradigm, judging yourself. But when you see somebody and you love them and you're open and you're giving and you're not worried about opinions, and instead you're playing the game full out and you're sharing and you're learning and you're overcoming your self-limiting beliefs and you have progress, that's where joy is. Progress equals happiness, not pleasure. Pleasure doesn't equal happiness. Pleasure is nice. We all like pleasure. And you can tell me what type of pleasure you like in the comments. Just kidding. Just kidding. You can tell me your favorite dessert, though. Tell me your favorite dessert in the chat. Everyone loves a good dessert. No? I love creme brulee. Creme brulee. We got a tiramisu. I wrote creme brulee, but creme brulee, it rhymes. Apple pie. Hassan likes a good warm apple pie. Is it a warm apple pie or a cold apple pie? We want some whipped cream on it. Donuts, of course, with custard inside. Kanafa. Love that. Ice cream. Amazing. Well done. So I want you guys to think about the more you share between each other, the more you share of yourself, the more interesting you become. Do you know your childhood wound? When you were 16, what happened? When you were 9, what happened? When you were 24, what happened that shaped you and your view of the world? It's worth it to figure that out. That'll give you more power because it'll stop controlling you. Because the person you decided to be at 9 years old is the person you become based on some wound that happened. When I was 16 years old, I watched my mother suffer in the Lower East Side. She had a store for 10 years. She tried to grow her business, and eventually she went out of business. And I always wanted to help her. My father didn't really want to work. He still was with her in the store because she bossed him around, but he never really wanted to work. He wanted to learn. He wanted to pray. That's what he wanted to do. And my mother and father, that was their fight the whole time. They still fight about it. They're married, but they still fight about it. And I always watched, and I was thinking to myself, like, what can I do? As a helpless 16, 17-year-old, what can I do? And I just watched her suffer. And I got this tick inside me that I have to be successful. I have to. I have to buy a house. At 24, I bought a house. A brownstone in Brooklyn. I gave it to my ex-wife. I have to be strategic. It's not a choice for me because I saw my mother not be strategic and go out of business. So I have this thing that I have to. But once you realize why you have to, then you get to choose to. You don't have to. You get to choose to. So now I got really, really good at being strategic, really good at making money, but I choose to do it when I want to do it instead of it controlling me. I dance with my insecurities, with my fears, with my strengths, with my weaknesses. If you have a strength, you also have a weakness. Like Superman. He has a strength, he has a weakness. If you have a strength, you also have a weakness. If you can find out the opposite of your strength and you get someone to support you, whether it's a coach, whether it's an integrator in your business. If you're a visionary, you probably need an integrator or an assistant or somebody to help you. You're going to become so much more powerful. So much more powerful. So if you're not expressing yourself and sharing, then there's something stopping you from doing that. And if you can figure out what's stopping you and you start expressing yourself in the way that you express yourself, it could be just with the people around you. It could be with your children. You'll feel so much more energized. You'll feel so much more powerful if you can tap into the soul within you, the consciousness within you that's not limited by the opinions of other people or the opinions of the voices in your head that are really the opinions of other people. You get what I'm saying? We have so many voices swirling around. That's not who we are. We are not our voices. We are not our feelings. We are our presence. You are not an entity. You are not an entity. You are a process. Think about that for a moment. Let that sit with you. And you have tools. You have so many tools available to you to impact people. Did you know there are 1.2 billion people on LinkedIn? Did you guys know that? And only 21 million posted in the past 30 days, and most of them was garbage that they posted. Trash that's never going to get seen. With AI, they created some garbage that has no meaning. One of my core values, I have an AI business that creates content. And one of the core values of our company is be authentic. Use AI to get you 80% there, but then add your flavor. Chicken soup has basic stuff. It has chicken. It has potatoes. What do you put in your chicken soup? Let me know in the chat. What do you put in your chicken soup? I'll put some potatoes. I'll put some onions. I'll put some garlic. I'll put some celery. What do you put in yours? I don't know. Put something in the chicken soup right now in the chat. What are you going to throw in the chicken soup? Sweet potatoes. Excellent. Thank you, Deli. Corn. Amazing, Osama. What else? Put something in the chicken soup. I don't cook. All right, so what does your cook put in the chicken soup? He's like, yo, I don't cook. I just look. A little extra pepper, right? The Flavor Flav. There's some basic meat and potatoes you put in the chicken soup. You got to put the chicken in. That's the AI. The AI creates the meat and potatoes, the basic, the framework. But then you add your pepper. Then you add your garlic. Then you add your corn. You add your own flavor to it. Maybe you add a little baharat. You know what I'm talking about, Bashar? A little baharat? A little spice. تحتي عربي. شوية عنا جوعان إمك. Do you get what I'm saying? Osama knows what I'm talking about. Half my family's from the Middle East. Half my family's from Europe. But we're all the same. We're literally all the same. We all have the same insecurities. We all have the same issues. We all have the same desires. If you could figure out the pains, goals, dreams, and fears of your ideal clients, of the people that you want to impact, you can impact them deeply. Did you know that? Everybody has dreams, fears, goals, problems, questions. Don't look for answers. Look to ask the right questions. And when you do that, you'll have more energy. Some questions take away your energy. Some questions give you much more energy. If you say, why does this always happen to me? You know what happens? You start thinking about all the terrible things of why this happens to you. But if you say, what's great about this? What's amazing about this? No matter what happened, you will find something because your brain is there to find answers to questions. And your consciousness gets to choose the direction to make your energy flow. So why not be a conduit of blessing to other people and assist them with the challenges that you've had in the past, that you've overcome? Why not guide people and support them more and love them more and communicate more? Why not overcome the ego just a little bit? Not all of it completely. That would be weird. That means you're going to Burning Man and taking off all your clothes. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just a little bit more, a little more connection, a little more freedom, a little more power, a little more self-expression, a little more opportunity for other people, and stop worrying about taking so much or what am I getting for it, but instead giving with your full heart, creating serendipity, creating grace for other people with your presence. Isn't that yummy? Write yummy in the chat if you thought that soup was yummy. And this is just me just sharing. Because Hassan is like, share. Give a couple tips, but then share. You want a checklist? I'll give you a checklist. You want to be successful on LinkedIn? Add 20 connections a day of the right people. I mean, are you connected with all your chapter members? No? Let's connect with all the chapter members. Put your link in the URL in the chat right now. And let's connect with all the chapter members. Connect with each other. That's number one. Add friends on Facebook with the people that you're already friends with, like Nick. Nick just put his LinkedIn URL. Connect with him. Oh, I don't want to connect with other chapter members because then it's EO solicitation. Who cares? Don't solicit. Connect. Do you get what I'm saying? Build a relationship. See how you can connect with people. The biggest opportunity I ever had in networking, most lucrative financial opportunity, came from me having breakfast with the president of EO New York one morning. And I sat with him and I said to him, I don't even know what you do for a living. He's like, it doesn't matter what I do for a living. It matters who I am. I was like, so tell me who you are. And we started connecting. And it turns out he helps hospitals with whatever. And I said, okay, what if I gave you a list of the 500 hospitals that are the most successful hospitals in New Jersey with all the decision makers' contact information? He's like, that would change the game for me. So I gave it to him. And he's like, what can I do for you? I said, I'm looking for a sales director at a $400 million company. You know any? He's like, happened to be. There was a former EO member that's a sales director, and I'm good friends with him. Can I introduce you to him? Yes. He introduced me to the guy. The guy ended up spending $2 million with my marketing agency. He's like, if this guy introduced you, I'm hiring you. I was like, what? I did not expect that. But it also changed the game for me because now I went from charging $1,000 a month for marketing to charging $45,000 a month. You get what I'm saying? And that comes from being authentic and connecting deeply. You never know who you're going to connect with. My goal is to make 3 introductions every day. Just connect people. That's what my goal is. Who do you want to meet? By the way, in the chat, you can write, who do you want to meet? Now, if you don't have something called a business networking one sheet, I highly recommend you create one. I create these for all my clients in a matter of seconds. But this is what mine looks like. You guys want to see it? Hassan, should I show you mine?
Please.
Okay, so this is what mine looks like. I'm going to create one for Hassan right now as well. So this is what mine looks like right here. You see this? This is my business networking one sheet. It's on my profile. You can easily see it. It has my about, my current projects, who I want to meet, how to introduce me, and my skills, experiences, and passions. It has my cell phone number, my email address, a bunch of links to my different products and my social places for people to connect with me. And I say, what's at me? You see that? I say, what's at me directly. Not rocket science, right? Now, most people don't have this. I'm going to send you a link to this so you can look at it later. I put a link in the chat. Feel free to like it and comment on it. Let's look up Hassan right now. Let's create one for him and see how long it takes. Hassan, A-L-K, H-I-Y-A-M-I. I misspelled Hassan. That's why it didn't come up. Okay, acting CEO. He's acting like a CEO. I'm going to click on more, and I'm going to click on Save as PDF. You guys saw what I did? Now I'm going to go into one of my communities that Hassan has access to. I'm going to search one sheet, and I'm going to find the one sheet party replay. This is a video that I did. It's a 1-hour video explaining how to make your one sheet. But instead of him having to make his own one sheet, I'm going to have a custom GPT create the one sheet right now in about 3 seconds. So I'm going to say, make Hassan a one sheet. I press enter. And now let's see. Let's see if Hassan's one sheet. This is about how to connect with him, his current projects, who he wants to meet, how to introduce Hassan. You see that? I'm going to put this in the chat so you guys can see this. Maybe you could help Hassan out. Here's how you can introduce him. Here's his skills, experience, and passions. You guys see this? Here's what he's currently doing. Did this take a long time to do, Hassan?
No.
If you use the right technologies and the right tools and the right processes, you can get a lot done very quickly. Accessing the right information, that's powerful. Implementing it is extremely impactful. I recommend everybody make a 10 to 15-minute video about what you do for a living. I have that on my profile, and then get 100 people to like and comment on it. It's very simple. Do you guys want to watch that 15-minute video now? We're not going to watch it now, but I'll send it to you so you can look at it. It's right on my profile. I'm going to click over here to my profile. You go down, featured video right here. Now, you can also advertise the video if you want. So I had 30,000 people watch this video. Think about the impact that you can have if 30,000 people watch a video. But I first got 100 people to like and 100 people to comment on it, you see? And you guys could like and comment on it too if you want. How did I get 30,000 people to see it? I put a couple dollars behind it. There's something called boosting. You can boost. So 22,000 people saw the ad, you see? But it was on my profile. It wasn't on my company page. 7,400 of them actually watched the video for 35 hours total time. I spent $315 and probably made like $20,000. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is extremely powerful. Doing this. And this video is going to stick around for a while. It's not just going to go. It's a featured video. It sits right on my profile. This is extremely powerful stuff. Very impactful stuff. Okay, questions. Let's go for questions. Hassan, do you anything running through your mind right now?